Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching Spotlight tonight, particularly to our viewers in the Channel Islands who've just joined us. You'll know a bit about the benefits of being out on the coast in the Channel Islands because police officers and paramedics are being offered surfing lessons as a way to relieve stress and get over traumas at work. It's a scheme called Surfwell and was set up after a police officer was assaulted at work and was taken surfing by colleagues. Spotlight's John Danks was at the launch at Fistral Beach in Cornwall.
A year ago I was in a different place. I was quite low esteemed. You put your body armour on and that's the kind of protection. You haven't got body armour for your brain, you haven't got it for all the things you deal with. There's a certain limit to things you can take on board before you reach a potential where you have to have things spilling out. So to be able to come here and spend the day where you have that one-to-one, where you can just share and burden yourself, I think is key.
It's surf therapy specifically tailored for those who work in the emergency services.
Nice long period to jump on.
The two men who run it are serving police officers from North Devon.
People in the emergency services arena are much more likely to suffer a mental health issue, but because of the bravado and the kind of perception that people in the emergency services are all heroes, I think there's a real a lack of willingness, I suppose, to open up and say, look, we have got issues. And I think what this is starting to do is to create a bit of a trickle effect that actually there's a lot of people, we're seeing a lot of people are suffering with those issues, and just to get them to open up in a group and with their peers, with that support and the trust that we put in place beforehand is something that we've seen and does really work.
Sarah Herbert is a radio supervisor in a police control room. She was affected by an incident involving the death of a teenager.
That brought on for me complex PTSD. Now, one way of managing my triggers is I will go out, put a wetsuit on and go into the sea. It's almost like that cold water therapy, just resets your brain.
So far, 50 people have benefited from the treatment, including some from the ambulance service.
We've had 4 of our members of staff who have struggled with their mental health over the years come and pilot it, and the impact has been absolutely profound on their mental well-being, their social, also their family situations and their physical health.
The Surfwell project has received charity funding to backfill frontline staff attending the course.
2, 1, go!
Sessions will be run all year round at beaches in Devon, Cornwall and Dorset.
We've had quite a few people come through in the winter, and a lot of the science says that actually cold water gives you a lot more benefits. So if we can get people out in the winter, then we actually see even more powerful results from that.
A way back to well-being for the workers we all rely on. John Danks, BBC Spotlight, Newquay.
Well, we know the great outdoors is good for our well-being, but just how good is surfing for your mind? Jamie Marshall is from Edinburgh Napier University. He's been researching this and joins us now. What have you concluded in terms of the effects that surfing can have?
Yeah, we've heard there's a lot of really interesting research around blue space in general, so in the positive effects of being in the ocean and enjoying the outdoor space you mentioned. But surfing in particular seems to really demand your complete focus, whether it's standing up on a wave or weaving in between waves to get back out to another wave. And that complete focus seems to really not leave a lot of space for negative emotions, for bad memories, things like that. One of the most common things I've heard in my own research is actually that I leave everything on the beach when I go surfing. I leave all my baggage, whatever it may be, I leave it on the beach. And that seems to be something that surfing does very well and does very easily. But you also heard the guys there talking about all the work that goes in around the standing up on surfboards. And that really is the difference between these surf therapy programs and just going surfing. Which is, you heard them talking about peer support, about creating a safe space around the project. And all of those things coupled with, the enjoyment and the things I've just mentioned about surfing seem to have these amazing effects that you heard about in that piece.
And now we've heard what effect it was having on the people there in that report. How do you think this could be applied elsewhere, the benefits that come from surfing?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to see the police in the Southwest, supporting it themselves. We're actually very lucky in the UK to have a range of surf therapy programs already doing things with different populations. The Wave Project, who are also based in the Southwest, but have sites all over the UK, recently celebrated their 10th birthday. And they're working with young people facing mental health challenges, very integrated with the NHS. So we're actually starting to see this surf therapy, because the science is now there as well, being accepted, being normalized, and being used for more and more populations who could benefit from the positive effects we've been talking about.
Well, here in the Southwest, we all know about the fun aspect of surfing. Interesting to hear that there's a genuine science behind it and the benefits that it can bring. Jamie Marshall, thank you very much indeed for joining us on Spotlight tonight.
Thank you.